welcome. This is Susan Mwita, your health advisor, coming to you through True Living Show via Sky Cable TV. I welcome you today so that we can talk more of our health, because health concerns everybody. Today we are going to talk about a topic which everybody knows somebody who is concerned with it, or somebody who has it, or somebody who is going to have it, or somebody who don't want it. What we will talk about is type 2 diabetes. But before we get on to that major topic, type 2 diabetes, I have also three other type of diabetes. I just want to touch so that you can have an idea of what we are talking about. So there is type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is a type of diabetes where your pancreas, which produces the hormone insulin, and hormone insulin is the one which takes your blood, your sugar to the blood and then to your cells. When you have type 1 diabetes, it means either your pancreas are not producing any insulin, or either it's producing too little. So you are either born with it or you discovered it early in your life. And for that one, there is not much you can do apart from controlling your diabetes with the diet and medications and insulin. And then there is also prediabetes. Prediabetes is when you're not there yet. You're not diabetic, but you're heading there. And one of the things I would like to let you know when you're getting prediabetes is when your sugar is checked, it goes beyond 140. So that number, most of you who have diabetes knows about those numbers. And let me ask you, how do you have an idea if you're going to have diabetes, you're prediabetic, or you will end up having type 2 diabetes? The numbers goes like this. Fasting blood sugar. And what do I mean by fasting blood sugar? Fasting blood sugar is the sugar you check. Let's say you had your dinner last night. Past midnight, you're not supposed to have anything until the morning when you're having your breakfast. So when you take the glucometer and check your blood sugar, it should be between 80 and 140 there. If it goes beyond that, then there is a problem. Another way of checking it is when you check the sugar after you eat like 2 hours, and then the sugar should be between 90 and 180. When also then after that it goes beyond 200, then that's a red flag. You might be diabetic or you're heading there. And when it reaches 300, 350, 500, that is too high sugar. Another diabetes I wanted to talk to you about is gestational diabetes. And that one is when the mother, when she's pregnant, she starts having diabetes. And maybe after the pregnancy is gone or before the pregnancy is there, she doesn't have it. And I should advise the mothers most, they should check themselves well and eat well so that they are not in that situation, because you can pass the diabetes to your kid. And the reason is because what you eat, how you live when you're carrying that baby is what the baby is having. So that's another one. But let's get back onto what I just said. We'll talk about the type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes I'm talking about, it's the one you bring it to yourself because the risk factors are there and you know them. One of the risk factors is genetics. If your parents had it, your family, somebody had it, you should be on a watch out. Another risk factor is the way we eat our diet. I know from the community I come from, we eat a lot of carbs, processed carbs. We eat a lot of ugali, rice, and mostly processed food, cakes, We drink a lot of sodas, juices, but we have to change all that, because the way you eat and the way you nourish yourself, that's how you bring diabetes to yourself. Another risk factor is not having any activities, not exercising, not walking, not, doing exercises. So, and another thing is obesity. When you're too big, the hormone, that hormone called insulin, is needed more when you have so many cells or bigger cells, that the hormones, insulin has to transport the sugar to your bigger cells. That's how you end up having diabetes. So if one of the things I should let you know is about the BMI. BMI, we calculate it according to your height, your size, your height, and your width. So if you're short and you're wide, so that is bad. If you're tall and you're slim, that's good. So that's BMI. So let's get back on the type of foods that you should eat when you have type 2 diabetes, or when you're preventing it, or when you're pre-diabetes. The food you should eat most, when we count on the plates, the vegetables should carry like 60%. And then the meats, and try to eat the white meats. The white meats should have like 20 to 30%. And then the carbs, it's the main factor here, should have less and less on the plate. It should be like 15% to 20%. And then you're not also going to forget about taking more minerals, more fluids, water, and try to avoid sodas, try to avoid bottled juices, try to do juices which are fresh from the fruits, homemade. Drink a lot of water, and that will keep you somewhere. I know we some places or people have been brought up in a way of eating 3 meals a day. When you're diabetic, or the way everybody should eat so that we prevent ourselves from having diabetes, is eating 6 meals a day. What I mean by 6 meals, you eat 3 meals, but they should be little foods, little portions of foods, and then snack in between. So if you take breakfast early in the morning, like 7 a.m., you should have, bigger size for the breakfast. Then for like around 10 there, 11, you should have a snack. Then for lunch at 12, you should have a little less than breakfast. Then at 4, you're supposed to have another snack. Then, at 5, you have dinner. And dinner should be less. Some people eat a large amount of dinner and then little breakfast. So, and how they say it, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like normal, and then dinner, eat it like a beggar. So that's how it should go. Then when you're going to bed, I don't know what time most people go to bed. If you're diabetic, let's say you go to bed at 9 p.m., take a small snack. And always keep, because, when you're diabetic, especially those who have pre-diabetes, and maybe I should ask you, what is pre-diabetes? Pre-diabetes is that bad diabetes that it's only controlled by medications. It's controlled by insulin. You have to be injected. And also it goes on different levels, because there are people who they have insulin. Insulin they're injected with, maybe at mealtime. They have to be checked on their levels. We call it a sliding scale, so that maybe if you have this number of your blood sugar, then you should have this number of units of insulin. So those with pre-diabetes, most of them, they have long-lasting insulin, like Lantus, we know the name, Levemir. And then there is also other types of of insulins, which are short-acting, which, those ones are needed for people with pre-diabetes because it's what gonna bring the sugar down. And then when we talk about when the sugar is low, hypoglycemia, that's what we call hypoglycemia. There are certain symptoms like shaking, sweating, dizziness, anxiety, shakiness, blurred vision, headache. Then when you have high blood sugar, which is hyperglycemia, then you still have the headache, the blurred vision, you see like it's crowded in front of you, and then you urinate a lot, and that urine might be smelling like flowery because it has a lot of sugar, and then fatigue. So you should watch on what you eat, because if you have hypoglycemia, that is sugar, when they start telling you that your sugar is 70 going down to 60, 50, you should do something. And that's why at home, most people who are diabetic and who, when they have low blood sugar, they should have like some juice there, so that to bring up the sugar up, or have sweet or glucose. And then those people, the same people who have diabetes, sometimes the sugar goes so high, when it goes beyond 300, 350, 500, then you're going on another level. Then you need things to bring the sugar down. One of the things which can bring the sugar down is those I just talked to you about, the insulin, which is short acting. You should have it ready somewhere. The doctors usually prescribe it for you. And then you should also have like water so that you can grab on it. And the bad type of symptoms to have is hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, because that one you can die easily. You can also become unconscious. So we should watch so much on hypoglycemia. But don't forget also hyperglycemia, we also need to watch on it, because the more higher your sugar goes up, the more your inner other organs are messed up. And that's why you find like some other diseases are correlated with diabetes, because if you have if your kidneys is messed up, your pancreas is messed up, your liver is messed up, it's gonna end up being your heart is also messed up. And that's why you see most people who have kidney issues who go for dialysis, most of them, a good percentage of them, they have diabetes. And that's, you have to watch on that. So both hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, they are not good. Another thing I want you to know, or you have heard, is the way people with diabetes, their skin is not good. It dries you up until when you put a normal lotion, which anybody else can put, your skin is still dry. And then you have to be checking your feet, because it's according to this disease and its disease process, you end up having neuropathy that you don't even feel on the bottom of your feet. You don't even know when you're getting a wound. And that's why some people have amputation of their feet, or they have their toes cut, and they get big wounds. You don't even know where they're coming from. And the reason is because the bacteria loves, it feeds on energy, it feeds on the sugar. So if it's get onto your blood, which, the sugar is not taken onto the cells, even it will feed on it. And that's how you end up getting all that. And I hope next time we'll talk more, because this is a broad topic, and we'll talk more on the food, on how to take care of your skin, on all the types of doctors you should see, the podiatrists, the endocrinologists, and all the other doctors also should know for your other system. They should know that you are diabetic, because this is an expensive disease. We should not have it, and if we have it, we should know how to manage it. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, and don't forget to watch our show, True Living, through Sky Cable TV. And thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye.